his training camps were the stuff of legend. I mean, he would spar 100 rounds a week sometimes, which is just insane.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1,000%.
Joe Rogan recently weighed in on Crawford's intense preparation for the Canelo bout, praising his exceptional switch-hitting ability and adaptability in the ring. Rogan suggested these skills could help neutralize Canelo's raw power and vast experience, even with the size gap between them. Still, he expressed concern that Crawford must be physically strong enough to absorb Canelo's punishing shots, warning of the danger of being overpowered.
Which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Because how does Crawford compete with that size? Crawford is leapfrogging. He goes to super middleweight.
47 to 54 and now to 68.
And the Madrigal fight in 54 is a difficult fight.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1,000%.
I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young. He uses strength and conditioning. There's very few fighters that just train using skill, just train skills. Like George St. Pierre did that for a certain period of his career.
I wonder if there's anybody left in boxing who trains just using the gym skills. There were a lot of them when I was first involved in the sport who would never have touched a weight.
Right.
You know, they subscribed totally to the notion that was negative.
Right. And the worst case, I mean, they definitely did calisthenics, but that was it. It was just body weight exercises, you know, which brings us to Crawford, which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Fascinating. Because how does Crawford compete with that size? And, you know, we have to recognize, okay, well, when Canelo fought Floyd, it was 152 pounds, right? So he had dropped down, which was a struggle for him, which is why Floyd was so brilliant in getting him to go down to 152, because he knew he would be drained.
Was it 52 or 54?
Rogan hasn't held back about where his loyalties lie. He's all in for Crawford in the mega showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Speaking on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience with Jim Lampley, he was asked for his pick and answered instantly, Crawford. Rogan went on to say he's a huge fan, calling Crawford the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler and noting that Canelo has shown signs of slowing down. He praised Crawford's slick movement, adaptability, and tactical brilliance, while still acknowledging the serious size and power advantage Canelo will carry into the ring.
When you look at the elite of the elite boxers, to a man, to every one of them, they're disciplined. Yeah. And they stay focused. I'm so excited to see this fight with Canelo Alvarez because I think the Saudi Arabians have so much money. They're throwing so much money at boxing. And the guy who's the head of boxing over there wants to make that fight happen. I think Terence Crawford, forget about the 3 weight classes. I think he could beat Canelo.
I think he can too.
Rogan also urged Crawford to approach the fight with extreme caution, pointing to Canelo's size and knockout power as serious threats. Still, he admitted he wouldn't miss the bout for anything, calling it probably the biggest fight in boxing right now. During the podcast, Rogan even veered into an unusual side discussion about cartel mule runners while dissecting the matchup, mixing sharp fight analysis with unexpected cultural commentary.
Actually, practicing it, you know, that was something that when I had the cast on, I was like, man, I love the gym so much. I'm like, man, I'm not leaving the gym. Like, I'm going practice with this left. And that's when I got the left stronger, because at first, when I go southpaw, it was only, you know, my right. And then when my hand got messed up, just started working on the left, and it started getting stronger and stronger. And I started getting more accurate, because at first, just throw it just to be throwing it. And then, you know, it just got to a point where my left was actually way stronger than my right.
I believe he can too. On the Joe Rogan Experience, Crawford looked back at his 2023 clash with Errol Spence Jr., crediting his victory to relentless preparation. Everything you see on fight night, we drilled it over and over, he told Rogan, explaining how repetition turned strategy into instinct. Addressing the talk about Canelo's size, Crawford shrugged it off, saying, "He might be bigger than me, but big doesn't mean stronger."
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. And I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Eddie Atlas views Canelo versus Crawford as the ultimate clash of size versus speed. In his eyes, Canelo brings raw power and the comfort of fighting in his element, while Crawford holds the edge in agility and ring IQ. Drawing parallels to Pacquiao's legendary upset over De La Hoya, Atlas praises Crawford's instincts, timing, and elusive style. While acknowledging Canelo's dominance at higher weight classes, Atlas insists Crawford is a very, very special, a fighter who can neutralize physical disadvantages with savvy, versatility, and those intangible skills that often decide history-making bouts.
On size, Crawford coming in the ring, and Crawford doing everything he can to match Canelo's power, possibly size, and to, at a minimum, try to just maintain what speed he already possesses. Because, when you go up in weight, sometimes you compromise speed. So we know Crawford and his team are doing everything they can to, at a minimum, maintain his speed. But the question came up, okay, since Crawford is looking to come in the ring fast, powerful, we know he's already brilliant. Shit, what if Canelo comes in lighter? I'm like, lighter? Yeah, what happens if Canelo says, you know what, I'm not going to try to come and just outweigh him by 20 pounds on fight night, because I realize I'm in it with somebody who's very agile and who's probably going to be faster than me. And although I have timing, he has timing too. So I can't afford to be 2 or 3 steps behind Terence Crawford in my speed.
In preparation for his super middleweight showdown with Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford has revealed a striking body transformation. Formerly competing at 154 pounds, he's bulked up to a walking weight of 185 pounds, at times appearing near cruiserweight levels in training footage. Yet, despite the added mass, Crawford remains lean and sharply defined, a testament to disciplined conditioning. Still, some remain skeptical. Strength coach Rob Arosta cautions that jumping from 154 to 168 and beyond in such a short span could cost Crawford his trademark speed and stamina when confronted with Canelo's punishing power.
How do you feel like he will do going against somebody like a Canelo at 168?
I think Bud, man, one thing I love about Bud, he willing to challenge himself. Mm-hmm. And when you're willing to challenge yourself, you can surprise yourself. But that's a hell of a feeling. I think, to be honest, you don't want to sit there and brawl with Canelo, but at some point you're gonna have to fight him. You know what I'm saying? You can't let Canelo press you. You know what I'm saying? Because he great at that, and he a bully. He is a bully. But Bud, I believe, got bully tendencies too. You know what I'm saying? And he could be crafty. But I think if he approached it the way he approached Spence, then we get a way better fight than people think. Now, what I saw when he approached Spence was, I can't make a mistake. I can't let him do too much. I can't let him be a bully. I think if he go at Canelo the same way, then we get a great fight on our hands. Not that I'm sorry. I'm not saying he's gonna be that dominant, but I'm just saying I think we get a great fight on our hands.
*** boxing coach Greg Hackett doubts that a knockout win for Terence Crawford over Canelo Alvarez is realistic in today's 12-round era. Canelo, a battle-hardened veteran, won't crumble easily. Hackett believes Crawford doesn't possess the freakish one-punch power or the desire to stand in the pocket and trade bombs that it would take to put Canelo away. Instead, he predicts a masterclass built on technical precision over flashy exchanges. In Hackett's eyes, only in the old 15-round format might Crawford's style slowly break Canelo down for a late stoppage. Meanwhile, tensions between the two are heating up. Canelo threw a jab outside the ring, saying, "Crawford will find out what happens when a good fighter moves up against a great fighter." Crawford's clapback was razor-sharp, so that means you're a good fighter and Ward Bivol is a great fighter, right? Every time you stepped up, you lost. A stinging reminder of Canelo's high-profile defeat to Bivol. Asterisk asterisk.
I'm going with Terence Crawford, you know. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
Andre Ward, the former two-division world champion, didn't mince words when backing Terence Crawford in his clash with Canelo Alvarez. "I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against anybody right now," Ward declared, calling "but a fighter you can bet the house on." While he admitted the weight jump and the dangers of the matchup are real, Ward stressed that until someone proves they can break Crawford's will, a feat he's never witnessed, he's sticking with the Omaha champion.
I want to quickly ask you a couple of questions. Crawford, Spence. I know you watched the fight and you spoke about Crawford. How good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
is that good?
How to learn boxing, you know.
Really?
He's a very good fighter. Yeah, I like to watch his fights.
Pound for pound number one?
Yeah, probably he is now, because he is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes. And
it's crazy.
He's a great fighter, yeah. To be honest, I didn't see, I think, Crawford in real life. I don't know how big he is. But the size, you know, when I came to boxing gym and my coach told me that one of the rules, it's like respect the weight classes, you know. You should respect weight classes. But he has a very good skill. He's one of my favorite fighters, active fighters.
Ward Bivol, the WBA light heavyweight champion renowned for his pinpoint precision and ring IQ, has nothing but high praise for Terence Crawford. In past interviews, Bivol has gone beyond calling him good, labeling Crawford amazing and saying he belongs in the textbook for young fighters learning the craft. As the Canelo Alvarez showdown approaches, Bivol once again voiced his admiration, calling Crawford one of his favorite fighters and insisting that, with his mix of size, skill, and adaptability, Bud has what it takes to beat Canelo.
Crawford. Believe Crawford, even though, you know, fought twice, you know, throughout the year, Crawford, you know, was...
But look where he beat.
The disputed.
Look where he beat. Look where he beat. What he did to Spence and how he did it. That's 3 fights to me. And it took 4 fights out of Spence, right? Yeah, I'm a fighter, so I can tell you when you get punished like that.
Yeah, I was there ringside watching the fight.
It takes a few years out of you. Don't see the years right now, but it sort of takes something out of that person going forward. They still can beat some fights, but it really put a bruise on them. You didn't see Spence fight yet, did you?
No.
Did you hear him name opponent for him to potentially fight? It's been quiet. You see the weight he gained?
Boxing legend Bernard Hopkins believes Terence Crawford's dominant dismantling of Errol Spence Jr. left more than just a mark on the record books. According to Hopkins, the beating Spence took was so severe it effectively shaved off 4 fights off his career. He suggested the physical punishment and psychological toll would haunt Spence long after the final bell, diminishing his durability and altering his career path. To Hopkins, this is proof that Crawford doesn't just win fights, he leaves lasting effects on the men who share the ring with him.
One more thing. It don't matter if Canelo is on that. He ain't beat no Terence Crawford. You heard it here first. Plus, I look at the performances of Canelo. I look at his last performances. I mean, they've been all right, you know. They ain't been like, you know, wow, you know, blew me away. So I'm not really worried about all of that. And the same thing goes with Crawford. I know he's with Snack, and I know some news came out this week and all of that, but I personally believe that Snack is clean. I think it's a conflict of interest, the fact that, hey, he knows how to beat the system, quote unquote, Victor Conte, but at the same time, I think Snack, you got products going around the world, this and that. I mean, all these athletes are testing. They're not testing anything or positive by using Snack at all. So I think it's safe. There's no doubt about it. So with that being said, I'm not worried about that. As long as they testing, I'm good.
Do you think Terence Crawford's intense training and transformation give him the edge against Canelo? Let us know your predictions in the comments below.